literally, there's the truther 9/11 guy, there's the anti-vaxxer guy. Like it's nothing, and they're all making money. That's what scares me.
Hey guys. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why when we first, joined Rockfin, I sort of stepped away from it or stopped uploading there. Where am I? Where's my sound coming out? I am echoing.
No, that was me, not you.
Okay.
That was my laptop. I turned it on so I can read the chat.
Yeah, so I started to get like worried because
I just moved the wrong
of the company.
Hang on, sorry.
Hey everyone. So we're live on Twitch, twitch.tv/statusquo. We're really encouraging people to start an account there because of the YouTube suppression. But we do love you.
Pot Take Friday.
Hashtag Pot Takes Friday. I'm going to be sending we have a super chat already. Thomas Horner, 199 in the super chat. I think that's a good omen, starting us off good. Yeah, Chester.
So Pot Takes is going to be a thing now. I think hashtag Pot Takes. That's like
Evil Bezos won, but we have news on that front. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe there might be a second vote
that he didn't really win. We'll see. We'll see. So you guys, I'm going to send the text because Sam has a family matter to attend to. So I'm going to be sending the text. But Tina and I were talking about this. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, or maybe it was all this week, about how shameful it is that a lot of people, even in our leftist space or supposed leftist space, have turned to conspiracy theories, anti-vax stuff, etc. And it's driving me insane.
Why? Yeah, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating to me.
It's disgusting because really, we need people to get their vaccinations. We need truth, beyond that.
Part of the problem, I think part of what's driving this is that people don't trust the systems for good reasons. So bot science is a thing, right? You have multinational corporations lobbying things, funding science, hiding results when we want to. This is nothing new. We've had that, for decades and decades and decades. And I think the unfortunate reality is this often can lead to people not trusting anything to the point where it becomes problematic. So we have just a hot mess in this country.
Right.
It's very, very sad. But, so what do we do about that? Because all knowledge can't be treated equally in the sense that, things need to be grounded in truth. Like in philosophy, we call this epistemology, right? Theory of knowledge. And if you're not grounding something in truth, then how do you trust that it's justified, right? I mean, you can get into all of the, $12 words on that, as Ron Placone would say. But really, at the end of the day, people don't trust the systems. They're not being given the tools to be able to do that. And so this stuff just sort of proliferates because we are also in a period of massive civil unrest for good reasons. I mean, so it's a very complex situation. But I think the problem is we do have people kind of coalescing around some things that aren't helpful, and I just don't know what to do about it. And then we were talking about it on Rockfin per se, because I signed up for that, one of the first 4 or 5 folks on there. But it's just a giant cesspool of conspiracy theory. Every time I log in to post a video or something, it's just conspiracy theory, and then I see that these folks have like a lot of views. They're getting a lot of tip money, $80-$90, and you're like. I watched one of the anti-vaxxer videos, and it was really disheartening because this guy was basically clearly not educated in biology and was making this claim about shared genetic structures between things. And so I'm like watching this and I'm like, yeah, dude, like if your argument's valid, then human beings are also chimpanzees because of the amount of genetic structure that we share with chimpanzees. I mean, this isn't a valid argument. But if you don't understand the science and you're listening to this and you're like, oh, shit, this sounds about right. I can't get that mRNA virus thing. It'll kill me, right? So I just don't know what to do about this.
Right. And that's the thing, we are only responsible for our content, for our journalism. But when there are really only, how many content creators in media are there? Maybe a dozen on Rockfin. When you kind of throw your hat,
there's more now, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's not many. It's certainly less than 100, less than 50 maybe. I haven't counted recently, but it's not many. So there's, it's not.
But it's also it's sort of a cycle that feeds itself too, because the more you have content creators that are creating that content and they see it's making money, so they create more of it, then you have other content creators that now are jumping on board and doing the same thing because they see that stuff's making money. The problem is there's no commitment to veracity. Right? There's no commitment to truth. And if all you care about is making money, then I guess that's what you do. That's where I get angry with these content creators, especially the ones that should know better.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. We know some of the people who should know better. And it seems like it's like, the draw of clicks and money or whatever it is kind of bringing people over to the dark side. And I don't understand. And we both said this yesterday. I will never understand how you can knowingly put misinformation out into the world, information that can literally harm people, literally kill people. And you're fine with doing that. How can you do that? I cannot wrap my mind around it. I can't.
Neither can I. So how many people we got now? We got people signing in still? Yeah.
Yeah, we got people still coming. We've been live for about 5 minutes. Got 113 people watching. Smash that like button. Share this stream. We're getting going today. Yeah, we've got some bad news. Amazon crushed the Bessemer, Alabama union vote. But this is not the end of the story. Not by a long shot. As you might be able to guess, there were a lot of shenanigans going on. There was some union busting, not even the normal kind of union busting. Like people were reporting that they talked to other, corporate CEOs and they told them about the sorts of tactics that Amazon was using. And those corporate CEOs' jaws dropped because they were so shocked about what Amazon is doing. So we're going to go really in depth about that. I'm going to give you some updates about what's going on with YouTube. Taking care of some things right here. Sam is taking care of some family matters. So waiting for some more people to trickle in. But here we are. It's Friday. It's Friday. But we don't sleep here at the Coup.
No, I'll be working all weekend.
Yeah, you're going to go out in the field. I can't remember what you're doing. It's Sunday, right?
Well, yes, Sunday is the big neo-Nazi rally, although they're saying they're not Nazis, but they absolutely are Nazis. I mean, they were even posting KKK flyers in Huntington Beach all week. I shared a screenshot of one of them on Twitter. But so the White Lives Matter, which is something that's been global, so it's not just the United States, it's happening across the world, is happening on Sunday. So one of the original ones that was scheduled is Huntington Beach. There's a large white supremacist group there. There always has been. When I was at UC Irvine, they were there back then. So surfer Nazis are a thing. They're real. The funny thing, though, is that the Antifa folks decided to create some honeypot sites because they were trying to expand where they were having these marches and basically on their main page saying, hey, if you want to have a local march in your city, drop us a line, set up a Telegram account. We'll support you. So some of the Antifa folks decided to create honeypot ones, fake ones, just to get the names and contact information from Nazis in the area. And it worked. So after a couple of days of pretending they were these fake White Lives Matter accounts, they switched them over and said, hey, we're Antifa. Thank you for your contact information. So I thought that was kind of funny. I think there's a few more that are still going to come out.
Oh my gosh. Of course. So I also want to say hello. And I talked to Tony earlier today about our website, who, helping us with our website. And he's also helping us with growing our Twitch because YouTube is pulling so many tricks with us, suppressing us. So we're making moves to really build our presence on Twitch. And he noticed yesterday that I kept calling you guys on Twitch Twitchers, and I didn't even realize it. And I was, and he was, and so
it's like you have a Twitch and you can't stop.
Where are you supposed? What are you supposed to call them? He's like, I don't know, like Twitch chatters or something. I don't know.
Where did that name come from anyway? It is sort of odd, to be frank.
Twitch.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting name. By the way, Twitch.
Is that a gamer's? It must be a gamer slogan of some sort. If anybody knows, let us know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I really don't know where that came from. But you guys on Twitch,
it's like
love
getting electrocuted.
Let me know if you like to be called Twitchers. I think maybe it flowed out of me. I can't help myself.
It's funny. No, it's funny.
I often call our viewers like love bugs and things like that. I can't help my little nicknames that I call people. So we have on Twitch right now, we have Dave D for the coup, who is also on our YouTube, one of our brave and trusted moderators. Oh, so Firsty Ferret says we usually call ourselves chat. That's what Tony said. But guys, that's so boring, right? That's not fun. That's no fun. Chris Garrett, OG Chris Garrett, or maybe you're not the OG Chris Garrett. There are 2 Chris Garretts. But we definitely welcome you. The activity feed. Oh, so I've been told that the thing you're supposed to do on Twitch to grow is to welcome people. So a big welcome to Catstruckade, Rainier 2. And that's it so far, but that's okay. So sign up for Twitch.
Hey, man, we're not gamers, so if somebody's bringing up in the chat that Twitch is now owned by Amazon, which is true too. So
it is.
My thing is like, at what point do they start screwing over content creators too? I mean, isn't that sort of the pattern we're in?
Yeah, well, we also already got warned by Twitch once, so you know what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
As long as you stop electrocuting the watchers, we're good.
Electrocuting the watchers? What is that?
Yeah, Twitchers. They're
Twitchers. Tweakers.
That's the visual I got with that, at least. That's my pot take.
I don't know. That's your pot take. Pot takes for Fridays. So anyway, guys, as you well know by now, Tina and I have a great time. We are going to talk serious topics, but we can't help ourselves. The news is depressing. We've got to laugh. We've got to let loose a little bit. But we promise we will talk to you about this very, very serious and honestly depressing and demoralizing outcome for Bessemer, Alabama, and what it signifies and kind of what happens next. So smash the like button if you haven't already. YouTube's algorithm, as best as we can figure, the more people who smash the like button, the more people who will see this live stream. We've been massively suppressed, as you guys know. If you've been following our emails, which I definitely urge you, take a look. Hopefully I'm pointing at the right area. Take a look at how I've put my name in StreamYard. statuscoup.pub/email. Go there right now. Open up a new tab. Go there right now, you Twitchers and you love bug YouTubers, and enter your email address, because basically eventually Amazon's Twitch is going to screw us over. YouTube's already screwing us over. Everyone's going to screw us over. But as long as we have your email address, it doesn't matter, because Status Coup is going to thrive. We are going to find a way to keep our reporting going no matter what. So make it like, show the man who's boss, which is you guys. statuscoup.pub/email. Enter your email address right there. All right. So let's kind of give an update on what's going on with Status Coup and YouTube. Let's see. Let me go on over to my StreamYard and switch you guys to my screen. Once you get used to OBS and then going back to StreamYard,
StreamYard is very confusing. I don't understand StreamYard, although it's probably easier than OBS is. I am totally used to OBS. This is very confusing to me. But there it is. Okay.
We'll get it. Okay, so this is Fox News. It's okay. We'll take it. We'll take any sort of media that we can get, any sort of attention we can get on this. So
the irony, though, Jenn, the irony.
I know, right? That the only that the only mainstream media attention we can get on this is freaking Fox News. But if you guys aren't aware, YouTube is essentially trying to force us off the platform. They've taken down about 10 of our videos, and for the past few months, I guess I would say, or since January, and it's been difficult. We've appealed every single time. This latest time that we appealed didn't go our way. They gave us a warning, and a warning comes right before a strike. And they say if we get a strike, we will be kicked off of the platform for basically a week. We won't be able to upload videos. We won't be able to live stream. It's not good. It's not good at all. And 3 strikes and you're out. So Joseph Wolfson interviewed Jordan. YouTube faces backlash as progressive journalist claims tech giant trying to push us off the platform. So Status Quo's Jordan Sheridan says YouTube's suppression of independent journos favors mainstream outlets. By the way, Jordan was supposed to be taking yesterday off, but he ended up having to work the entire day on the Flint story, and we have this shit show to deal with. So not fun. A progressive journalist is sounding the alarm about actions YouTube has taken against his news outlet as part of a broader effort to suppress independent voices on the platform. Jordan Sheridan, the co-founder of Status Quo, took to Twitter on Thursday after facing yet another round of punishments from the Google-owned company. After YouTube has taken down 7 to 10 reporting videos from Status Quo of Trump supporters' bogus election fraud claims, which we challenged, they're now warning us we'll get a strike and week ban if more are found, Sheridan tweeted with screenshots of warnings sent by YouTube. So this basically was reporting surrounding Trump supporters' claims that the election was stolen, surrounding the Capitol insurrection. So this is clearly part of history. This is in-field reporting that we did, reporting that John did, that Jordan did. And this, is capturing moments, again, part of history. And we pushed back on these bogus election fraud claims. Yet YouTube saw it fit to take our videos down and now give us a warning, a prelude to getting a strike. And not only did they take it down, but they labeled it scams. Like they took our content down and labeled it scams.
Yeah.
What does that even it doesn't even make sense.
That's what they label everything, though, I've noticed. That's every time I've had a problem, that's what it says too. And I'm like,
it's
what
bizarre.
does that even mean? Yeah. It's just
and wait till we get to the part where this journalist interviews YouTube and their reasoning. It is bananas.
It is bananas. It's
Jordan
insane.
goes on to say, YouTube is really trying to push us off the platform, Sheridan added. Sheridan, a vocal supporter of Bernie Sanders during the 2020 presidential election, then wrote, honestly, the way things have been going on YouTube with our subscriber growth and views nosediving because of its suppression of our content, I genuinely don't know how much longer Status Quo can survive. I always pause right there because my truth is that Status Quo will survive no matter what because of you guys. So Status Quo has gained support from other progressives and independent journalists on social media. The people who have agitated and are still agitating for more and more online censorship, led by journalists at the New York Times, CNN, and NBC, are not only destroying the remnants of a free internet, but also wrecking the livelihoods of many independent journalists. Features, not bugs. So that's Glenn Greenwald. We had support from Ryan Grimm, who said YouTube's own algorithm has created an entire movement that believes bogus conspiracy theories. Which is true.
They created their own monster. Yeah,
absolutely. If you just let YouTube
they've done it
run, that's what happens. They start running conspiracy theories and insane stuff. But if
because it makes money, they're fine with. Here's the thing, Jen, they are fine with it as long as they're making money off of it. It's when the advertisers turn around and say, I don't want my ads on that kind of content, that they do something about it, and then they go whole hog in the other direction. They did this 2000 twice now, with originally with the Nazis, that were all getting lots of views, because even if you don't agree with the Nazis, you're going to go see what the Nazis are saying. So that stuff was getting a lot of views. Ads were showing up on it. I believe it was L'Oreal was one of the initial advertisers that were like, hey, why are my ads being shown on this content? So but it's a cycle. But here's the thing. YouTube could control that cycle if they chose to. They don't need to be that greedy at the start to go whole hog in the other direction after it's gotten to this point, right? So they create their own monster. So I thought Ryan's comment was on point.
Yeah, absolutely. And he goes on to say, but if you interview the actual people they've poisoned, push back and publish the interviews, they take down your channel. He absolutely, it was a fantastic comment. Crystal Ball, the Hills Crystal Ball, Crystal Ball of Rising, got straight to the point saying this is total bullshit.
I love her.
Brianna Joy Gray said independent media, particularly original on the ground reporting, is invaluable, especially now. And she had also said that she made sure she was subscribed, and she also donated, which was very, very kind. Ford Fisher, who's fantastic as a photojournalist, said YouTube's disinformation policies, where documenting false claims to repudiate them is disallowed, should at the very least be enforced in a collaborative and open way rather than a punitive one. So let's go down. Oh, go ahead.
Jen, the other thing to that point, Ford's right on that, but the other side of the equation is they absolutely protect these larger media sites. CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all of these sites, TYT included, they're protected. They don't have to deal with this algorithm because they're exempted from it. So YouTube does not treat everybody the same. So that's just, as far as I'm concerned, another added layer to it's all, like Crystal said, it's bullshit. I'm going with that.
Yeah. 100%. Because we don't have Sam here today, I'm gonna do the super chats, which I know how to put on screen now. Chester Williams, $5 in the super chat. What about indie platforms like Curiosity Stream and or Nebula? I hear the channel's second thought mentioning those platforms quite a lot. Curiosity Stream, that's interesting.
I'll look into them. Yeah.
One. I actually think I have that one like on I have Sling TV. I think that's actually on my Sling TV. So if that is something that we could easily get on, I like that. Hey Siri, remind me about Curiosity Stream tonight at 9 p.m.
Yeah, we should. And Nebula, I don't know this one either. Thank you, Chester, for bringing up these platforms, though, because we do need to find other platforms.
Yeah, thank you, Chester. That's something really good to look into for sure. For sure. And I think I saw another one from Thomas Horder. I think Thomas has left too. So we appreciate that, Thomas. I just don't see the other one back on the screen again. These super chats are so helpful because YouTube is honestly the devil. I know I saw another.
Do we have a TikTok? We don't, do we?
A TikTok.
I think that was something we were thinking about.
Jordan can be Charlie D'Amelio and create some dances.
Yeah.
Jordan's a really good dancer, you know.
I could do my pot takes. What is the length of a TikTok? Like, is there a time limit they put on those?
It's pretty short. Yeah, pretty short.
All right. I mean,
you could do. Tina does really good.
Takes.
This is definite side notes for what you're talking about. But Tina does really hilarious parodies. You could do your parodies. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, that'll be my pot takes.
Genova 7, $5 in the super chat. Thank you so much. Keep those super chats coming. They help out a lot. They are always welcome. Shout out to you Twitch chats. Like what? No, that's a terrible name. Shout out to Twitch chat. No, that's not fun. But I love you.
We need a name for that. Yeah, but not Twitchers.
That's not fun at all. No, Twitchers is great.
No, I have a visual of them getting electrocuted every time you say that.
Okay, so we do need a better name than Twitchers. I agree. Okay, yeah, you're right. That sounds great. Okay, so back to the news. This has been your commercial introduction. Let's see what these lunatics at YouTube say.
Oh yeah, my God.
Okay.
That's just the punchline.
So Jordan said, this is no longer a left versus right-wing issue. YouTube, owned by Google, is trying to purge independent journalists that corporate advertisers don't approve of, Sheridan added. Here we go. This is just one. There are two crazy things that this spokesperson says. YouTube spokesperson Ivy Choi told Fox News that the status quo video was removed in accordance with our presidential election integrity policy, which prohibits content uploaded after last year's safe harbor deadline that alleges widespread fraud or errors changed the outcome of the 2020 U.S. presidential election.
Okay, our video didn't do that. This is ridiculous.
No.
What is she talking about? Listen, YouTube, nobody here thinks that Trump won this election. Can we just make that clear once and for all? None of us do. I mean, this is ridiculous. And we've said it repeatedly. But that doesn't mean we can't cover what's happening in the world. Part of doing our jobs means covering people we don't agree with.
Absolutely. And as I said, I mentioned yesterday, NBC, I don't know if you know this, Tina, but I spent a lot of time taking down preemptively any videos that even towed the line, that, resembled videos that they've taken down, already. And It turns out I missed one because they took another one down this morning. So
I saw they took out the Roger Stone thing. I mean, again, did we control that environment? That was what happened. We just filmed it. People need to look. Burying this stuff doesn't fix anything either. Why do they not understand that?
Well, absolutely, and that's the thing. I preemptively took that stuff down. I didn't even catch it all, but I found myself, and I said this yesterday, I found myself thinking, if I were conservative or if I were, a Trump supporter, this would push me further and further away because they already think that everyone's after them. I found myself, if anything mentioned Trump, I found myself like, is it even worth it to keep this up? Is it worth it? And I, in the end, I was like,
which is ridiculous.
If there was even a question, gone. So, and one of the very poignant, I thought, moments represented a horrible Trump supporter saying horrible things. NBC licensed that for a couple $1,000s. I took it down from our YouTube.
Yeah, because here's the other thing. They are keeping up the videos that have been licensed by the people that have licensed them because, again, these are all protected channels, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. And then I had that situation last week where another one of these was RT, I'll say who it was. They used video of mine without my permission. I filed a DMCA takedown notice, and the email I got back from YouTube is like, we are concerned that you're filing a DMCA notice. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
And I responded like, I am concerned that this is your response. You don't decide or arbitrate these things. Courts do. And I'm telling you right now, they stole my video. It's not licensed. Here's a copy of the video. You can see it for yourself. So, but I mean, this is what they're doing now. It was shocking to me. To get that kind of response is really wild.
Yeah. Okay. So here next is the response from this YouTube spokesperson that made my jaw drop. Yeah. This is the truly insane one.
Yeah, I agree.
I cannot. Okay. So so Sheridan pointed to a CNN video of a reporter asking Trump supporters why they think the presidential election was stolen. A video Sheridan indicated was very similar to the one shared by Status Quo. The YouTube spokesperson told Fox News that, unlike CNN, Status Quo did not provide sufficient educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. What?
Yes, all of our videos are copyrighted.
What? Yeah. That's insane.
That is absolutely insane. When I read that, I almost fell over. I was like, you're kidding me, right? That is just an absolute garbage response. Jen, I almost hope there are people from YouTube watching this right now because they need to hear how completely off base they are. They must know on a certain level. I mean, this is beyond pathetic. It's embarrassing. It's cringe. They've now entered the cringe area. You know, and then I think back to the time where they had, you know, pedophilia videos, like child, you know, remember that whole thing that happened where one of their top 10 channels was actually this guy that was doing these like subversive child sex things.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fine with having it, you know, ads on that until they got busted by a large advertiser. And so it's like, I mean, who do they think they are?
Yeah, absolutely. There are definitely different standards for different levels of YouTubers. That's for sure. So I just cannot, I hope that Ivy Choi like understands how ridiculous that answer is, at least. You know, I can only hope that she understands how ridiculous that is. So I don't know what is going to happen next. I do know that we're going to continue fighting. And I do want to address something that happened this morning on the Twitter. So I announced that I had taken down videos, and I put this in the email that I sent out, and I said it on Twitter. I actually wrote, I said, you know, in kind of like a moment of panic, I was like, all right, we're going to take down videos. Like that's what we're going to do. That's the only thing we can do. And so we had a couple of people, you guys know these people. If you're in leftist, you know, if you're very online in Twitter land, say like, why would you do that? Why aren't you just fighting the man? Like, why aren't you just leaving those up? You're self-censoring and that's horrible. You should just fight it.
How is that self-centering? That's ridiculous.
And it's
don't even tell me who said this stuff. I really don't want to know, but that's absolutely not self-centering. That's preserving your income stream. Are we all supposed to go out of business so we can't pay anybody? I mean,
so
there's a way to fight things and a way to not. And I understand why you would proactively do what you're doing for now.
Right. And so it's like, you know, unless you're in our shoes where we work 7 days a week, morning to night for 3 years, we're not gonna just be like, all right, we're gonna leave these all up. And that's throwing in the towel. That's throwing in the towel. We are
not being smart about your fights. Yeah.
Yes. So this, to me, what we are doing is the long fight. Not like leaving all this up is throwing in the towel to me. So maybe we're wrong, but everyone does things differently. This is our business. We care so much about our journalism that this is how we're choosing to do it. We are choosing to raise a lot of awareness about what's happening to us. We are raising awareness that we felt we had to take those videos down in order to preserve the business. And then another person who you guys know said, you took those down because you're trying to save your ad revenue. You're doing all this for ad revenue. You threw away your journalistic integrity for ad revenue. And I was like, you know, some strong language, you.
Okay, number one, I don't know who this is. I don't want to know. Again, don't tell me. Number one, that's ridiculous because these videos are available elsewhere. They don't have to be on YouTube. We're not saying they're not going to exist in the world. But at the same time, you have a staff of people that are getting paid monthly. That I mean, do they think that we should just fire all these people because we need to stick it to ourselves? I mean, if anybody's being self-absorbed, is somebody telling that to you about your decisions. Do I like that had to happen? No. Do I understand why you did that this morning? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not worth losing everything when we can move these videos elsewhere and meanwhile look for another platform. But in the meantime, people need to get paid. You are responsible for editor, you know, engineer, market. Like there are people that rely on that money every month. So I think that's really fucked up.
Yeah, we have freelancers to pay, we have bills to pay, but it is not, you know, if we are in this, so one of the people ended up apologizing. And so here's what I wrote back to them. And this is where we are coming from. So here was my response. I said, thank you. This was a DM. Thank you. I appreciate the apology. None of it has been an easy decision, and we are doing the best we can. We are absolutely not in this for the money. If we were, we are certainly in the wrong line of work. Our mission, our mission is to continue our journalism fearlessly while fighting the long fight and not getting kicked off in the short term. So that and that ended that, and I was trying to be as diplomatic as possible while being pissed off. I mean, if anyone's curious, I left all my tweets up, even though someone deleted theirs because they were an asshole. So, but yeah,
I don't know, man.
So that's the update for now. We are continuing to spread the word. We are doing everything we can to keep our YouTube channel going, to keep our journalism going, while moving a lot of our efforts over to Twitch. So I do heavily recommend that everybody make a Twitch account, twitch.tv/statuscoup, twitch.tv/statuscoup. People like Humanist Report, Mike Figueredo. If you happen to be a fan of his, no comment, but Hassan Piker's over there. He's one of the most popular streamers. AOC did the Among Us thing with him. So, Chapo Trap House is there. There are a lot of leftists who are over there. Oh, G Nova says, I'm going to Prime sub. Don't really know what that means because I'm new to Twitch, but it sounds great. I think that means that here's what I think from what Tony told me. So I think there are different levels. There's like a $5 level, a $10 level, and you get fun things like extra perks, like
emojis.
What are they? So he called them something else.
They're something, but they're like emoticon. I forget. You're right. There's something else, but they're like an emoji.
Emotes.
Emotes. Wait, is that it?
Someone tell me what they are. I should go to Twitch because they'll tell me what they are.
I know, right? They're probably yelling at us right now.
I know they are. They're like, oh my God.
It's fair though. It's fair. We need to learn this stuff.
Emotes. Yeah, they're emotes.
They are emotes. Okay. Emoji cons. I don't know.
Hey, neither of us are boomers. Me jungle.
No. Did somebody call us a boomer? Get the hell out of here.
Okay, so I'm going to welcome our Firsty Ferret cheered 100 bits, whatever the hell that means.
Those are good. I know those are good. Those are good at Twitch land. Is there a way to combine all of the chats though from like Twitch and YouTube together, like in a giant?
StreamYard does. You can see it all in StreamYard, but you can't
see that. Okay, I gotcha. All right, that's fun.
So, and then Annabelle_Dav followed us on Twitch. Billy Joe Kane Live followed us. Yay! Welcome. Amatirin is chatting. Jordan_Deck is chatting. Other people are putting things in lots of emotes. So yeah, definitely follow us on Twitch, sub in Twitch. Firsty Ferret, tell everybody how to do bits and subs and emotes, whatever's happening. You tell them. So we'll learn it. We're getting we're learning. It's a hard, Tony was going through everything with us earlier. Well, with me earlier. Tina wasn't on the call. But I have to say that I am really, really impressed with all of the features that Twitch offers. It's really fantastic. It seems like the user experience is dramatically better than
it's more interactive, I think, than YouTube is.
Yeah, it's so much more interactive. You can do like polls. How do I do that? I forget.
I don't know, Jen. I think maybe you and I need to play like Pac-Man. On Twitch.
Well, Jordan was considering Mario Kart. So that could be fun. We can do that. Oh, Jordan_Deck says, wait for someone to raid your stream. I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound good. But,
no, that's good. That means he's going to share it with his audience. I know that one.
Okay. That sounds fun. Okay. So
rating's good. Rating is good.
Yeah, so all you YouTubers, get in on don't be boomers. Get him off Twitch. Okay, boomer.
Hey, man, I'm Gen X.
All right.
Okay.
So,
should we do some news?
We'll do some news. We'll do some news. We'll do some news here. Before I move on, I do want to remind you that we're currently raising money in the GoFundMe because of how, let's see here, switching on because of how we're being treated by YouTube. We have lost essentially around 70% of our YouTube income. So we've had an incredible outpouring of support on our GoFundMe. So, it's not easy to kind of ask for money all the time, no matter what people think of, our motivations or whatever. I can assure you that Jordan and I do not take even, a living wage.
No. Nobody here is getting paid millions of dollars. So
no, not by a long shot.
But part of that is you two are also very fair with everybody that works with you and how you pay them. So
yeah, we try to be that, and it doesn't, there's not a lot to go around, and infield trips cost a lot of money, and
money,
it's
the equipment costs money, like everything.
Live view, which is how live view, which is how we go live, costs a hell of a lot of money.
They're expensive.
It's really running a startup and running a media company, and not one where we just stay in the studio. It's very expensive. And when we go out in the field where we used to get 1,000 viewers or sometimes even 2,000 viewers, and now we would get 300 or something, that cuts into our income, that cuts into our reach. So in order for Status Quo to keep going, in order for us to fight back against YouTube, if you are at all able to help support us, GoFundMe.com/Status Quo is a huge help. We've had, as you can see, a ton of support in the last few days. Just so many names: Roxy, Stephen, Alexis, Anonymous, Michael, Anonymous, George, Anonymous, Maya, Sylvia, Kevin. So many amazing names. You can add your name to that list. I'm going to send out some personal thank yous. Just really appreciate you all. Our main business model, and we did this on purpose. We purposefully did not build our business on YouTube. I feel sorry for those whose only business model is YouTube.
Yeah.
Our business model is our membership. So if YouTube goes away tomorrow, it sucks. We'll lose a lot of visibility. It will be really hard. We will have to fundraise, but YouTube is not our business. Our business is funded by the viewers and funded by our members. And you can join for just $5 a month, and you get access to our members only Discord chat, which is a lot of fun. We talk politics and news and, even things like book recommendations and movie recommendations and music and recipe swaps, things like that. Anything you want to talk about.
Police scanner apps.
It's really cool. So statusquo.com/join, a great thing there. And you can even help us out by becoming an annual member. So a lot of ways to support us. We have some more people joining Twitch. Amazing. Syndicate, Axel Burns, Cold. I always want to know what people's names come from. I'm fascinated by it. All right, time to get into some news here. It's going to be depressing. Maybe I was avoiding it here. Okay, so the news. Amazon warehouse workers. Let me make sure I'm on the right thing. Okay. Amazon warehouse workers reject union bid in Alabama. So I'm sure you guys have heard all about the vote to unionize in Bessemer, Alabama. We have covered a lot of Amazon stories lately. We have an excellent video or interview that Tina has done that we'll air a little bit of. Hopefully we'll have some time to do that with a worker who has lupus and was fired twice for simply asking for COVID safety in his workspace.
Yeah, and what's really egregious about that, I don't know that a lot of people know what lupus is. It's an autoimmune disease. So COVID absolutely could be deadly for somebody with lupus. You are definitely in one of those categories where it could be very deadly. So this is one of the most egregious stories I've heard yet, really.
Yeah, absolutely horrible. We've also, Jordan covered in front of the Staten Island Amazon warehouse location where Christian Smalls, who's been out in front on this. So there's been kind of a nationwide uprising of Amazon workers who have been absolutely mistreated. There's Pushan Brown, who was forced to give COVID tests, not medically trained, and dropped dead for unknown reasons because her family couldn't afford an autopsy. And Amazon doesn't care, didn't help the family. And also Amazon forced her 12-year-old daughter, who just lost her mother, to give things like her information, because they considered her next friend.
Yeah.
Just, her mother just died and they're forcing this child. Yeah. So Amazon is a disgusting company. We all know that. So here's what happened, the outcome of today. Workers at an Amazon warehouse in Bessemer, Alabama, handed the online retail giant a decisive victory when they voted against forming a union and cut off a path that labor activists had hoped would lead to similar efforts throughout the company and beyond. After months of aggressive campaigning from both sides, 1,798 warehouse workers ultimately rejected the union, while 738 voted in favor of it, according to the National Labor Relations Board, which is overseeing the process. It's interesting to me that the AP can, in good faith, report these numbers without, some caveats, which we'll get to.
Yeah, there's massive caveats here. Yeah.
Some caveats. Of the 3,117 votes cast, 76 were voided for being filled out incorrectly, and 505 were contested by either Amazon or the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union, which led the organizing efforts in Bessemer. But the NLRB said the contested votes were not enough to sway the outcome. About 53% of the nearly 6,000 workers cast their ballots. So the union said they'll file an objection. We'll get to that. Statements from Stuart Applebaum, who is the president of RWDSU. Amazon is
also a DNC member.
Yeah, which I did not realize, and Tina informed me right before this. It's very interesting.
He's co-chair of the resolutions committee. He was one of those, sidebar, I'm glad that he's doing this. I'm pro-union. We need to see more unions out there. But he happens to also be co-chair of the resolutions committee in the DNC. He was one of the folks responsible for shutting down the idea of having a climate change debate at that famous summer session in San Francisco, where the Sunrise Movement shut the meeting down. Sidebar. Yeah.
So we were saying, people are not possibly all good, even though this was a good thing he was doing.
Yeah. No, he is a union boss, so that's important too. But for some reason, I don't know what it is just party loyalty, party fealty. He's siding with corporate lobbyists when he does this stuff. So when he does these types of votes, so I have to wonder why.
Yeah, it's very strange. So Amazon said in a statement that it didn't intimidate employees. I think that might be a Pinocchio.
That would be 2 million Pinocchios. My hot take is that's 2 million Pinocchios.
I rate this 100 Pinocchios.
There is not enough Pinocchios on the planet to rate that one with.
Yeah. Our employees heard far more anti-Amazon messages from the union, policymakers, and media outlets than they heard from us, the company said. And Amazon didn't win. Our employees made the choice to vote against joining a union. Oh my God. So it goes on to say that the union push was the biggest in Amazon's 26-year history, and on. That the labor movement in Bessemer even got this far was unexpected. Amazon has an undefeated record of snuffing out union efforts, which is no surprise. Right. So there's the basics, but there's more. There's more.
Oh, there's a lot more.
There's more. There's some some facts.
Is that the entire AP article?
Well, I didn't read the entire.
Okay, but the gist of it, I mean, because I think you can't, I don't know, this is just me right now. I don't think you can have a conversation about Bessemer without looking at that town in particular. For starters, this is an area that doesn't have a lot of job opportunity. So really, the greatest leverage that Amazon has against these folks when they want to intimidate them is their jobs, their actual jobs. The job in and of itself is the greatest leverage, I think. It's not like they're in New York City where you can go out and find another job. It's a poorer area with little opportunities. So how could you talk about this entire effort and not mention that fact? So the acts of intimidation that Amazon clearly engaged in, regardless of their 20 million Pinocchio lie, it's crazy. All they have to say is you're voting against your job. We know who you are. I mean, there was that one story of the Amazon worker when she was asking pro-union questions where they came back and they scanned her badge. So they were clearly intimidating these workers and letting them know, we know who you are if you're pro-union and we might do something about that. So that can be very scary if you're making a decision out of fear.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic point. So that fact alone, that fear of not being able to find another job in a, that warehouse gives jobs to 6,000 workers. So it's a substantial number in that area. So that is a really, really important fact there.
I mean, I would say that probably many of these votes were votes against the retaliation that they feared, not necessarily against being a union. I would imagine that a lot of these folks that did vote no would actually appreciate having a union. They're just afraid of that.
100%. The fear is so strong.
It's real.
Fear is palpable.
Real. Yeah.
So as we mentioned, as we hinted at, or more than hinted at, there are some strong shenanigans going on. And actually right before, part of the reason that we were later going live than we intended to be is because there was some breaking news right around 5 o'clock that the organizers found, or excuse me, not the organizers, but the more perfect union came out with. So let's take a look at that. This is a video. I won't play the entire thing because it's their video, but you guys should definitely check out the entire video. It's about 9 minutes long, and it kind of, while the new information is right at the front, and that's what we'll play, but the whole thing takes you through basically the most egregious things that Amazon has done. 1 second here. Let me.
Busting consulting firm. Labor information. Something suspicious happened in the middle of Amazon's union election in Bessemer, Alabama. For most of the 2-month election, mail ballots trickled in each day to the National Labor Relations Board, a few dozen at a time. But all of a sudden, on February 12, a huge batch of 251 ballots arrived at the NLRB office in Birmingham. The pace of incoming ballots went back to normal. But then, it happened again. On February 17, according to people with knowledge of the election, another huge cluster of ballots appeared at the NLRB, 350 in total, on one day. Sources say these dumps of ballots were overwhelmingly no votes against the union. What was going on here? The answer appears to be a serious attempt by Amazon to manipulate the results of the union election. So serious that it appears very likely that the National Labor Relations Board will overturn the results. And in that event, should the Retail Workers Union demand it, the NLRB could call for the election to be rerun. Why did so many no votes, roughly 20% of all votes cast, suddenly appear on 2 key dates in February? According to the RWDSU, the only plausible explanation for the vote dumps is that they were the ballots collected from the mailbox that Amazon illegally installed in the middle of the night on the key.
Okay. Let me switch us back on the screen here. So I stopped it right before the next thing that we'll talk about, which is Amazon illegally installing this mailbox. So what you saw there, what were these 2 dates where all of these no votes suddenly appeared. This clearly doesn't add up. There's something wrong here. And so that's the new information that we hadn't heard before. So I don't know, if what Amazon's going to say to that. They'll have some kind of excuse for it. I'm certain. I don't know what possible spin they could put on it, but they'll have something.
This in and of itself to me is just like, okay, that's suspicious. I don't know that that's hard evidence of something though. But I think what sort of frames this is the FOIA request emails that they also got. So this is where
show that for sure.
Oh, okay.
I have those. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that's what sort of was like, okay, now we have more than one thing pointing at a problem here.
Yeah. So this by itself is one thing. But this combined with what we're going to show next is a whole circle of issues.
Things that make you go,
Right. So I think, my take on all of these things showing up at once is, I think, and this is only my opinion, so they installed this illegal box where it basically Amazon was able to kind of monitor who was putting their ballots in, who hadn't put their ballots in, and so people felt pressured to do so. And so I hypothesize that perhaps groups of people, maybe groups of people who worked together, were perhaps pressured by their supervisors to put their ballots in maybe on certain days. So I think this may be evidence of part of the pressure campaign that Amazon was running. So I think it just added to the pile of the other things that we'll go over. So that's kind of my take on it, but we'll go over some of the even more egregious information that we have, like Tina was talking about. CJS, $5 in the super duper chat. Nothing is out of bounds when that much money is on the line. I think you nailed it.
Because you know why, CJ, this to me, it's not just the money that's on the line right now, it's future money, because this represents structural change for the company that they're never going to get back, right? So it is high stakes. Somebody in the chat was also mentioning the Pinkertons. Yeah, there's been a history of corporations trying to end unions or workers' rights or any kind of collective bargaining, because they know that means they can be less greedy, that they're going to get a smaller piece of the pie. They're going to have to pay workers more. And they understand that that's a structural thing that's now protected. So it is very serious, and corporations are absolutely capable of even murdering people. We saw that, decades ago when at the start of the unionizing movements in the country. Yeah.
Yep. It's really scary, honestly. I can't imagine, what kind of pressure these workers felt. They were outright intimidated. And one of the things that we'll go over is initially there were most of the people that they kind of had tracked, or, these union organizers, it was dramatically in favor of unionizing. Like, these workers were very much in favor of unionizing. And so over time you see what happened, and that's because of fear, and that's because of the money that Amazon spent on high level consultants, which we'll get into all of that. So CJ, you are 100% correct. Keep those super chats coming, guys. They really, really help us. Let us know your thoughts. This is not just a one-way, us talking to you, and you talk to us. For sure, we want to know your thoughts on all of this. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let us see. more.
So Jen, one of the things though, just on what you just said, they did the ballots that were challenged by Amazon were the ones that were submitted after March 1st, and that's when the tide had turned. So I think they were well aware that the likelihood of those ballots coming in after March 1st were probably pro-union, and they didn't want them counted. Like, I mean, the shenanigans. I mean, look at the photos that they had of you've seen people disclose of the bathrooms where they had these anti-union posters that you would have to stare at when you went to the bathroom.
Yes.
You know, there's so many examples of where, and I have no doubt this is an environment where they track people going to the bathroom, right? You know, we've had these interviews with Amazon workers where they've told us, you know, the bathrooms like on the other side of the facility, I had to fight with my manager when I came back. She said I took too long to go to the bathroom. You know, how long were you gone? 4 or 5 minutes, and that's too long. So you're talking about folks that have to fight to not be written up for going to the bathroom. That's the environment that they're in. So it's really not that much of a leap of faith to imagine that the types of intimidation and pressure that they received just at the thought of losing their job and not being able to replace it was real. So, I mean, I think it's unfortunate that that's the case, but the environment had to have been deeply toxic.
Yes, absolutely. It's very clear that it was. And I feel horrible for these workers and what they had to go through. So here's part of what I was just talking about. So this is an article that I believe I'll open it in just a second, but here's a piece of it that I wanted to highlight. So this, I think, was back in February out of the Washington Post. So to win, the union needs yes votes from a majority of the ballots cast, rather than a majority of the nearly 6,000 workers that the NLRB has determined are the bargaining unit. Applebaum is cautiously confident, in part because more than 3,000 workers have signed cards authorizing the RWDSU to represent them. He acknowledges, though, that some of these employees have left Amazon. If it weren't for employer intimidation and interference, I have no question we would win. So I just found this interesting because of what we now know the outcome is. Yeah, February 2nd. So what happened between then and now? Well, let's take a look at some more here. One of the things Amazon did was put up this website, which is now down. Hashtag do it without dues. So we have to go to the archive because it's been put down.
They already pulled it down? Wow.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Mm-hmm.
That was fast. I would say the other thing also that happened this week is the PRO Act passed through the House. So it's likely that might get passed. And if it does, it will take away all of not all of them, but a majority of these tactics that they now have at their disposal will disappear. Mm-hmm. So it was to their benefit to have a quick vote. Yeah. Yeah.
So this was the website that they put up to try to convince these workers that everything is fine and dandy and just a utopia at the Amazon warehouse. Just fantastic and lovely. Thumbs up, total thumbs up, guys. Do it without dues. Hashtag.
Holy moly.
Hey, BHN1 doers. Why pay almost $500 in dues? We've got you covered with high wages, healthcare, vision, and dental benefits, as well as a safety committee and an appeals process. Safety committee. Is that why, workers are ending up dead and fired and, sick and all kinds of things? There's so much more you can do for your career and your family without paying dues. By the way, this is a right to work state. Like the dues thing was very fuzzy, let's say.
Another reason why the PRO Act, I think, is coming into play, because it will allow workers to override right to work laws. And that's really important. If they could, do people know what right to work laws are? Should we explain that? Right to work laws are very much anti-union.
Yeah, go ahead and explain.
No matter how they sound. So basically, right to work means that the unions can't collect dues from non-union members. So you have folks that maybe benefit from union contracts, but don't pay into the dues, more or less. But if they're allowed to override that, it would give them a lot more power for organizing. The laws are basically designed to keep people away from collective bargaining and to also convince workers that unions aren't to their benefit, right? That they're, like this website just saw, like, why should you pay $500 in dues? that's a waste of money. Well, no, it's really not. I mean, I'm saying this as a longtime union member. My dues get me better pay. There's no two ways about that. That is indisputably true. And I think any union member knows that. So it's a propaganda fight on a certain level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. It's total propaganda, total tricks. CJ with another super chat. CJS, $5 in the super chat. Was Bezos in Alabama for the vote? I heard things really heated up. I don't know.
I don't know if he was.
That's a
I have
great
not heard.
question. I'm
That is a good
not
question.
sure, CJ. I'm sorry that I'm not certain about that. If anyone knows, please let us know. Terry, $6.99 in Canadian buckaroonies. Do you think Amazon workers around the world should take what do you think Amazon workers around the world should take from the Alabama vote? I hope they don't get discouraged and learn to love the struggle. Well,
Yeah.
what would happen in a sane world is that the media, corporate media, et cetera, that CNN would have coverage of what actually happened. And so Amazon workers would get even more pissed off and would take to the streets and would strike. And we would have a real revolution and even more of a push to unionize because of how Amazon is treating people and how, they did illegal things. And, this is absolutely horrible. But what will probably happen is the media that most people are aware of, and these workers work nonstop and are doing forced overtime in certain cases, et cetera. So they probably won't hear, for the most part, about these illegal activities and this union busting. So yeah, they probably will get discouraged, and they probably will just listen to what they're
I hope not.
on.
I hope not. I do think there's a big push just in the environment in general, not just with Amazon, but with all workers. Like I attended the Kroger rally yesterday. I think workers are starting to realize, it's that idea that what do you have left to lose? I have nothing left to lose, so I might as well fight. Like, what more could they possibly take from me? I'm already making wages that I can't pay rent and food with. I'm so far in despair that if I might as well pick up arms and fight, because I have nothing more to lose, right? So I think there's a general change of attitude out there, and I think we're going to see actually more workers joining the fight. Because look, the fight for 15, great, I support that. It's not enough. $15, we have that minimum wage already in LA. It's not enough. Here you need to make like $25, $30 an hour to just, sort of have a decent quality of life. So at some point, people are angry, right? They're done. They're tired of seeing wealth extracted from them, even though they work really hard. And they're tired of being told, like, well, if you work really hard, then you get to be the successful entrepreneur or the capitalist or the whatever else. But this is simply not true, and people see it. They see through the lie, I think, at this point. So I'm hoping that the unrest spreads in the workers' environments, and that more of them do decide to step into workers' rights, period, across the board. Even if it's not your company, right? Support other workers. Just support the movement, because you'll all benefit from it.
Right. I hope you're right. That's way more hopeful than I was feeling. That's good.
I'm probably just feeling that because I was there yesterday and I saw the real energy and anger that was there with these workers, and they've had enough. They're like, we're not being greedy. I mean, you're telling us we can't even have hazard pay for 3 months. And you're now telling us that you're taking our jobs away, because Kroger's basically saying they're shutting down the stores. Their response is, we're not going to pay hazard pay. We'll just shut the stores down, which is like, are you kidding me? These are profitable stores, even with the hazard pay. So I think it's just intimidation and threatening. I don't think they'll actually go through with that, but it's an act of intimidation, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the greatest leverage you have is your job. You're going to lose your job if you try to unionize. That is leverage.
Yeah.
That is serious leverage. So, but I think people are like, no, enough. Fine. Take it. What else do I have to lose? You can't just keep taking from me. So I think they're sort of hit that level where enough is enough.
Okay. I like that. That's hopeful and good. Oh, we have another one from CJ. All right. we'll keep talking back and forth. CJ, $5 in the super chat. Workers need to expect more return on their investment. Time plus hard work needs to equal something. 100%. 100%. Yeah, people can't just accept nothing. The scraps, that Amazon or whoever, these corporate overlords are throwing them.
That's right.
Yep. You're absolutely right, CJ.
I mean, even Adam Smith saw that workers are entitled to a fair share of production. Like this should not be a controversial statement. It shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't. Yeah. So, okay, let's go back to just scroll down with this more disgusting website. So don't pay what you don't know the facts. An authorization card or online form is legally binding and may obligate you to pay monthly dues immediately from your paycheck. There are no free trials. So
there's no free trials.
Look at it. Oh, he's so happy. Be a doer, not a doer.
Oh man, this is bad.
It will be restrictive. Meaning it won't be easy to be so helpful and social with each other. So be a doer. Stay friendly and get things done versus paying dues. Oh, the dog is happy. Look at the dog. He's so happy. Dues being don'ts. Don't buy that dinner. Don't buy those school supplies. Don't buy those gifts because you won't have that almost $500 you paid in dues.
Well, hang on. I won't have that $500, but I will have a double payment paycheck than what I'm getting now. Like, how are you kidding me with this?
This is really something. Why not? And like the capital words, this is crazy. This is like,
it's so gross. This is so gross.
The worst type of propaganda. I just don't. So another aspect to this is obviously the high price consultants. So this is out of the Huffington Post. This is no surprise to anyone. So there are union avoidance specialists. So union avoidance specialists and the employers that hire them. Oh, Jordan said earlier that no one could read this. Let me make it bigger. Must disclose their arrangements to the Labor Department. The full picture of Amazon's spending isn't expected to come to light until well after the election has ended. But two union avoidance consultants. So this was written earlier. This is not a new piece. One of them, Russell Brown of Florida, has filed a report noting that Amazon is paying his firm $3,200 a day for each consultant under the contract. The form names, I would like to make $3,200 a day. The form names two consultants in addition to Brown, suggesting Amazon may be paying Brown's firm more than $9,000 a day for the work. Another consultant, David Burke of California, noted in a separate disclosure form, blah, 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 hours will be billed monthly with no cap. There is no written agreement as to a maximum billing amount. Amazon has also used the well-known and high-priced law firm Morgan Lewis, which specializes in dealing with unions. Imagine having a company that is designed to bust unions. What kind of smug piece of dirt has that kind of company?
Can we have a moment to talk about Jay Carney on that note? Maybe people don't know who that is. I mean, that's ex-Biden Obama administration guy that's now running PR for Amazon.
Oh, yeah. That guy, yeah.
I mean, are you kidding?
He's terrible.
He's terrible, yeah. But I mean, he is the poster child for the revolving door. Here you have a guy that's, posh, whatever, high-paid corporate job, back into the, politics, back out into a plush corporate job again. But I mean, now he might as well be busting unions in his job. That's what he's doing. That's what he's tasked with. He's basically trying to sell the public that Amazon is, wait for it, a progressive worker environment. Are you fucking kidding me, Jay Carney? I mean, have you seen his tweets? It's insane.
It's horrible. Teresa says, when I was a kid, many mothers didn't even work. That's true.
Right. That's true. You could survive.
Yeah. It's definitely become, you have to have both people working in the household, and even then people can't make it because of what's become of the working class. It's very, very hard.
It's very hard.
So John Logan, a professor at San Francisco State University, has studied the union avoidance industry for years. I can't believe that's a thing. It's crazy. Recently wrote that Amazon is almost certainly running up a tab on lawyers and consultants in the millions of dollars, which again is no surprise to anyone. So here is what Tina was talking about before. This is the real kicker. This was breaking as of April 8th. So breaking. More Perfect Union has obtained emails showing that Amazon privately pressured USPS to install an illegal ballot drop box during the union election in Bessemer, Alabama. The emails directly contradict public statements by USPS about the box's origins. So let's open this up.
The heavily redacted emails.
Yeah, they're very heavily redacted, but we have enough to figure this out. So Eric and Michael, we have not heard anything back on the install of this collection box. Amazon is reaching out again to me today about the status, as they wanted to move quickly on this. So it goes on in another tweet. The emails were obtained through a FOIA request by @RWDSU. Many of the exchanges have been almost entirely redacted, and any mentions of Amazon officials has been removed. But there are some key findings that we have been able to glean from the FOIA. So these I won't even open because they're very redacted.
Yeah.
Then it goes on. First, we learn that beginning January 8th, 1 month before the union vote begins, Amazon repeatedly calls USPS's strategic account manager to say they want to install their own box. USPS team deliberates Amazon's request and says a private box may not be utilized. So here's this email. The subject regarding mailbox options for Amazon Bessemer, Alabama site. Michael, I'm sure they will be happy with USPS installing one of our collection boxes, or one of our collection box. How quickly can we get one installed for them? What time does the carrier normally deliver to that location? I have 2 contacts at BMH1 that USPS can work with at the local level. USPS then decides to install one for them. Amazon HQ would like to be kept in the loop. A USPS official informs the entire national and local team. So that's that email. Goes on, we don't know for sure, but in a series of redacted emails, it appears that for over the next week, Amazon and USPS haggle over the acquisition of a box, what kind of box can be installed, and how quickly it can be done. So this email, let's see if I can get it bigger. No, I can't. It says, hi, Jay. We contacted the vendor and they indicated this unit would not allow an arrow lock to be installed. They have other options that do allow USPS arrow locks to be installed. They referred us to this page for those options. The next email, hi, Angela. Unfortunately, they checked with redacted this afternoon, and it will be a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks, so they are searching for other options, redacted. Thanks, Jay. Redacted. On February 3rd, a USPS official sends an email stating that it is dedicating time and effort to physically altering a collection box that would meet Amazon's needs. USPS says that it is hollowing out a box that would allow for bulk mail ballot collection. We were able to alter a CBU to remove an internal shelf to make room for more letters. The small, unaltered section held 183 letters and 47 flats. So we estimate the expanded area will hold up to 725 letters and 175 flats. We are cleaning it up now to ensure all rough edges are smooth and covered. The MPOO will be at the Amazon warehouse this afternoon to find an ideal location that is near the employee entrance and also safe for our carrier. She will send pictures of the proposed locations. Maintenance confirmed that they can have the slab ready today and can install by the end of the week. Let me know if there are any issues or questions about this plan. So this is the picture of, I guess, the modified box.
Yeah.
I don't know if it goes on. Yeah. Amazon demands USPS install the box by February 7th, one day before the union vote was to begin. USPS says it is working with Amazon to place that box in a convenient location on the Bessemer campus. The MPOO just left the warehouse. She met with Redacted. Together, they found 3 proposed locations near this entrance. Due to one-way traffic, multiple employee entrances, and safety concerns, this is the best area for all. Maintenance will complete the installation by Monday. As we documented with at Grim Kim, who is Kim Kelly, and she's been doing a great job on this, Amazon had the ballot drop box installed in violation of explicit guidance from the federal government. The box is installed the evening of February 9th, late at night, under the cover of darkness. The mailbox was critical for Amazon's strategy because it wanted to pressure employees to bring ballots to work that they'd received at home in the mail. By doing this, they could then pressure and monitor employees to submit no votes. Let's see here.
This is so amazingly bad.
Yeah.
It's so egregious.
Yeah, so let's stop right there and talk about that. That's a whole hell of a lot going on there. So essentially, these employees received their ballots at home. And now they have to put their ballots in under the watchful eye of Amazon. And they went against the federal government. They basically forced the USPS to do their bidding. And here we are. They got exactly what they wanted. And it seems that they won. The only reason
I don't know. Well, we don't know. I mean, they could fight this. There could be a second union vote. I mean, honestly, having all of this stuff come out now makes Amazon look very bad.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would empower the workers. They hear about this stuff and they're like, wow, I've been lied to. They were intimidating me. What the hell? So, and then now, and if the PRO Act, I'm going to bring that up again, because I think this is really important. If this does pass,
yeah,
and all of these intimidation tactics disappear, Amazon can no longer get away with this stuff, we could theoretically come up with a different outcome, meaning that if they have a second vote, they could unionize.
Well, by they won, I meant they won on the mailbox. I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to town over here. I'm like, but wait.
Tell people about the PRO Act. So that's cleared.
So the PRO Act, which has passed the House, I think on Tuesday it was. So this is just a set of pro-union things that would change. So it would allow the unions to override work for right to work laws, states and laws that are across the country. I'm pretty sure Alabama is one of them, right? And it would forbid them from interfering with the employees during a union vote. So the ability for them to intimidate the workers would disappear it'd be forbidden. So I think if this does happen, it would change the game.
Yeah, it would certainly make a difference. And I just feel, this is so stomach turning. And it's just, it's horrifying to think that this is just one of the many things that they did. Amazon had the town change the traffic signal.
That's right.
So that the union organizers couldn't, hold their signs and talk to people about the union.
Which is, if people don't know that is a really common tactic that unions do to try to organize workers. So as workers are leaving, it allows them to stop them as they're leaving out their cars and saying, hey, flyer them with like, this is what we're trying to do. This is why it's beneficial for you. Here's my number if you want to reach out to the effort and talk to us off campus. You can contact us here. So they took away that ability because they knew that it could be very effective for organizing for workers' rights. So, I mean, look, Amazon played this perfectly. There's no two ways about it. They learned from every other corporation's mistakes in the past, and they used all of these tactics, and they really were successful for those reasons. But I think, PRO Act comes into play. Now all of this information comes out about the 2 ballot drops with the FOIA emails. And honestly, those 2 ballot drops, they optically look bad, but there's no proof there that anything was really funny about it, right? But the minute you see the FOIA emails, you're like, holy shit, yes, there's something very funny going on here, right? So the combination of these 2 things is very deadly. And I think that information, I know that if I had voted yes out of fear of losing my job, this could change my opinion, right? If I'm now going to be empowered by the PRO Act, they can't intimidate me. I'm not going to be hearing that stuff. I can actually talk to a union organizer. And this is what Amazon did before. They're obviously very threatened by this union. Maybe this, $400 in dues I pay every year is worth something. Maybe there's something to that. And I think if they do talk to union organizers and they hear about the difference in pay rates between non-union and union jobs, and it's huge. It becomes quite clear that $400 is just an investment.
Yeah. So I have one more thing to show you from this Amazon story, and then I want to show you some incredible reporting that Tina did that's on this same vibe, but will maybe make you guys hopeful, because it is another group of workers who are organizing and taking things into their own hands. So let's see what this latest kind of bit is here. And this is Kim Kelly. So breaking at RWDSU says that Amazon illegally interfered in the hashtag #BAmazon union vote in Bessemer, and the union will be filing unfair labor practice charges with the NLRB. Quote, "We won't rest until workers' voices are heard fairly under the law," at S. Applebaum. Here's the piece. I wish I could blow it up for you. I can't even see it, so I'm going to put my face right up to the screen.
I know. It's like, wait, hang on.
Amazon illegally interfered in union vote. RWDSU to file objections and related ULP charges to hold Amazon accountable for their actions. Today, the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union announced it is filing objections to the conduct of the election and related unfair labor practice charges. On and on. Let's see here. The RWDSU will request that the NLRB regional director schedule a hearing on its objections to determine if the results of the election should be set aside because conduct by the employer created an atmosphere of confusion, coercion, and or fear of reprisals, and thus interfered with the employee's freedom of choice. The RWDSU will also present evidence to the regional director supporting the issuance of a ULP complaint against Amazon for unlawfully interfering with the protected right of employees to engage in union activity.
I have no idea how you're reading that, by the way.
I know, it's so small. Workers fighting for a voice and fair treatment in the workplace will now await the results of these hearings on the objections to determine the final outcome of their union vote. After enduring an intensive anti-union campaign designed by Amazon to intimidate and manipulate, workers are seeking the chance to finally have a right to fair representation, a seat at the table, and a real chance to fix the litany of issues that workers at Amazon have faced for too long.
Yeah.
So it goes on. They even say that Amazon has been gaslighting its employees, that they've been lying and deceiving and doing illegal activities. So I definitely recommend that you check out at Grim Kim for more information on that. And so you can read the whole very, very tiny print for yourself. But it's, it's not over. It's not over.
It's not over. But Jen, more importantly, Team YouTube has added us.
What do you mean? They followed us?
No. Hi, Jordan. We're looking into this to get more details. Someone from the community outreach team will be following up with you via email.
Well, we're locked. If they're following up with Jordan at his email, that's not going to go great because
Here, I'll show you. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Can you see that?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, they responded. They responded. So maybe the pressure campaign or enough people saying something made them. Oh yeah, it just looks like a white thing when I hold my phone up. Yeah.
Hit us up, YouTube. Hit us up. Meanwhile, on Twitch. Yeah, guys, follow us on Twitch. Make an account. That's the new thing. Twitch.tv/
which is owned by Amazon. The irony here, like, can we just have a moment to be like, what?
I know, but really? This is Google. Like, there's nothing good in the world.
My pot take on this is that we have to partner with all of these people because that's all that exists, right? There's only these corporate owned platforms. But at least if we diversify what platforms we're on, meaning we're not married to just one. If something does happen badly with one, we still have backups for others. And that's why it's important.
Absolutely. That's 100% the way I feel. Never put all of your eggs in one basket. So welcome on Twitch, Roos, PHMF, and Gratzer, Freya Thane,
Freya, there's a good Swedish name.
Ilsa She-Wolf, Conversations with God, Firsty Ferret, you're a total hero in the Twitch chat. Twitch chatters. Twitch chatters.
I like that. You know, speaking of Sweden, you know, for example, why don't we have this in the United States? In Sweden, there are 2 worker positions on every board. Every board of directors has either union or worker representation, but 2 spots. That's by law. Can you imagine how much differently things would be in the United States if that was the case? Food for thought. We are shortchanging ourselves in the United States on so many levels.
Yeah.
So many levels.
Oh,
we accept just slop handed to us. And for reasons I can't understand, we need to really motivate around this idea of even a general strike, perhaps. But things do need to change.
Yeah, things need to change. And we need, as Americans, we need to learn to not accept nothing, which is what we're getting. Absolutely nothing. So before I show Tina's incredible reporting, I want to remind you guys that due to what YouTube is doing to us, we are asking you if you are at all able to help us out. We are fighting the man. We're asking you if you're financially able to help support us to get through this difficult time. Our YouTube income has dropped dramatically by about 70%. If you can, go to GoFundMe.com/statusquo. Thank you so much to Cynthia Ebner, $20 in the GoFundMe, Anonymous, $20 in the GoFundMe, Roxy, Steven, who have supported us during this live stream. Thank you. You can also, which is our main business model, join us as a member, get access to our members only Discord chat, super fun, statusquo.com/join. And
Chester, you are right. Chester. Regulatory capture is a big problem too.
Smerry, thank you for following us. Yay. People are making accounts. It's all happening. 11 viewers. It's all happening. It's only up from here, guys. It's gonna happen. Also, you can leave us super chats. You can do whatever they're called in Twitch. I have so much to learn on Twitch.
Bits.
Oh, really?
Bits.
That's what they're.
I think. Am I wrong on that? I think so.
Oh, I have no idea. I thought that was probably like. I don't know.
Oh, hey, Jen, Jordan sent you the tweet if you want to put it on the screen, since my phone is so terrible.
Sent me a tweet?
The YouTube one, yeah, so people can see it. And honestly, let's be honest, the only reason that happened is because of the pressure campaign. If there hadn't been a million people like tweeting about it and you know, verified counts, big accounts, and if Fox of all people hadn't done a report on it, I doubt they would have responded or done anything. You know, which is unfortunate. It's ridiculous that that's what it takes to get a fair hearing. What do you guys think of Biden's new military budget? Like, we could half the frickin' Pentagon budget in half and it would still be too much. That's what I think about that in general. Did you find it, Jen?
It's funny that my screen is so big right now. It's like an old person's screen. Okay, so Team YouTube Yeah. Okay. I always have to check this on Streetbird. Okay. So Team YouTube has responded to Jordan's tweet, which Jordan's tweet after YouTube gave us this crazy warning. Jordan's tweet said, after YouTube has taken down 7 to 10 reporting videos from Status Quo of Trump supporters' bogus election fraud claims, which we challenged, they're now warning us we'll get a strike and week ban if more are found. YouTube is really trying to push us off the platform. So again, we got a warning, which is just insane. If this happens again, your channel will get a community guideline strike. You won't be able to do things like upload, post, or live stream for 1 week. Team YouTube said, hi, Jordan. We're looking into this to get more details. Someone from the community outreach team will be following up with you via email. Jordan said, oh, yeah, I look forward to that. FYI, I'm locked out of my email you have on file. You can reach me at jordan@statusquo.com. So we'll see what comes of that. Probably nothing.
Yeah.
Probably nothing good. So, all right. So I think it is time to show you guys some great reporting by Tina. This is a protest at Kroger. Do you want to set them up?
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if we're going to do the Amazon interview or the this. Okay, so yeah, so basically what's happening is Kroger is a very large supermarket chain. They own several different grocery stores, Ralph's, Food for Less, so a bunch of different name brand grocery store chains. And they have been told that they have to pay hazard pay. City of LA has come down on this because of the COVID. And in response, they've threatened to close down the stores instead of paying this temporary hazard pay. It's not even permanent. It's temporary. So for them to act like this is ridiculous. If you look at the profitability of these stores, you realize really quickly that they're in profitable areas. They're making money. The CEO, of course, is paid out an outrageous sum. Easily they could take his pay down $1 million and it wouldn't make a difference to him. It's so high. And they don't even need to have that much money to pay the hazard pay. So for them to be doing this is remarkable, really. And I think that the other part of the equation is these stores exist in areas that would become food deserts for a lot of the residents because they're not in wealthier neighborhoods. So now because of this, they're getting a twofold pushback. One from the workers, obviously, that are fighting for their jobs. And want to be paid the hazard pay, and 2, from the residents in the area that don't want their stores to close down, but are also in solidarity with the workers getting paid a fair wage. So they came together to rally against this, and now it was very successful yesterday. It was a large turnout, and I think they're going to be doing this across the Southland at other locations.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm going to play that. Also, I want to tell you guys that Jordan's going to be on the Jimmy Dore show at 9. I'll remind you again. I have it on my list. But Jordan, go away. You're supposed to be not working. I have it on my list, but I'll say it twice just because you're texting me to do it. So let's watch Tina's incredible reporting. Let me switch over the StreamYard. Guys, while you're watching this, keep the super chats coming, keep the bits coming, whatever that is. I will learn it. Keep the Twitch signups coming, keep the GoFundMes coming, keep the everything coming, and enjoy Tina's reporting.
Here at the Food for Less in East Hollywood, they've had plans to close down 5 different Kroger branches, and they're saying it's in response to the hero pay or hazard pay ordinance. Basically, since the pandemic, Los Angeles has said that stores have to pay anywhere from $4 to $5 more to their employees for hazard pay, and other stores like Vons and Target have been doing it. Kroger's basically trying to use intimidation tactics against cities to basically say, hey, if you do this, we're going to shut down stores. There's also some rumors going that, like, this was probably planned anyways, like they were going to close this store and others. This store closing is going to leave a food desert for the residents of this community. And, it's a lower income area. And it's interesting because, like, you go just up the street and there's a Ralph's that's in like a higher income part of the area, and it's more expensive. And it's typical. We came in flyer the other day, and like residents didn't even know about it, and we're outraged. So we had folks that were like, "Hey, give me some extra flyers so I can pass it around." But yeah, it's really sad, and it's happening here in East Hollywood. There are 2 stores in Long Beach, and then there's a store in Pico Rivera and another one in Slauson that are all closing. And I believe there's also some similar things going on in Seattle as well. So we've got 3 events going on today, one here, one in Long Beach, and one in Seattle. But they're all kind of working together. We've got the UFCW out here, groups like Lane, LAAN, that's a group that works closely with them. And then we've been coalitioning with my group, Abra, and other groups such as some of the folks that are in Long Beach with different groups that formed during the summer. Yeah, and so we're just trying to help the workers. We're trying to help the communities, and we also want to help find alternatives, because while we want to do what we can to prevent these stores from shutting down, we also want to try to make sure that we provide for the needs of the community if the stores do shut down.
Hey, good morning, buenos dias, welcome, bienvenidos to Food for Less. This is Food for Less 362. This is one of the stores that Kroger has announced that it will be closing during the pandemic. So for the past over a year now, workers at Food for Less and Ralph's, both owned by Kroger, have been risking their lives, their health, the health and safety of their families to provide food to their communities. The communities decided that because of the risks that they've been taking, that these workers deserve an increase in pay. And many communities, LA, South Pasadena, Glendale, Long Beach, Montebello, and many others, Santa Monica, I can't even name them all, but many communities within LA County decided to give an increase in pay as a result of these risks that these workers were taking. Soon thereafter, Kroger announced the closure of 3 stores, claiming that they were closing the stores in response to the hazard pay, and they did this to threaten and bully other communities. Then they went around to other communities saying, hey, if you pass hazard pay, we're going to close your stores too. And this was a big lie, a total lie. The stores that they're closing are not underperforming stores, particularly not this store, which makes almost $1 million a week in sales. That's a very high performing store. There are other reasons totally unrelated to hazard pay that they're closing this store. So they are lying in order to threaten and bully communities. Over the last year, Kroger's profit went up by more than 50% to $2.6 billion, $2.6 billion with a B. That's profit. And they are not sharing it with the people who have earned that profit for them. The CEO, Rodney McMullen, makes over $20 million a year, and they cannot increase the pay of these workers on the front lines. It's despicable.
We stand by these workers. I'm a former grocery store worker too, and I know the kind of work they do, but I don't know what they've been experiencing this last year. It's got to be incredibly stressful to be on the front lines, making sure everything is business as usual, that your customers are safe, that you're getting products on the shelves and feeding your community. They deserve the hero pay. Stonewall Democrats stand with Kroger workers, and it's just crazy that the CEO can be making millions of dollars, but he can't shell out a few extra bucks an hour for these workers who are coming in and day out to serve the community.
So I'm out here with the DSALA, Democratic Socialists of America, and we're here supporting the Food for Less workers that are at risk of being laid off as a result of being granted $5 hazard pay during the pandemic. The city recently granted them that hazard pay, and Kroger is threatened to close several of their Food for Less stores around the city, including this branch right here. So we're out here standing in solidarity with those Food for Less workers who have been a lifeline for our community. In closing these stores, where Kroger is the largest grocery store by revenue in the country. They're the 5th largest retailer in the world, and they're going to tell us that it's untenable to pay $5 more in hazard pay when our communities are suffering, when there's a global pandemic going on, when people already have limited access to healthy food at an affordable price. It's going to hurt our community. It's going to hurt those workers. It's going to hurt everybody that lives here.
I am the chair of the LGBTQ plus allies committee on the East Hollywood Neighborhood Council. When I was a young kid, Food for Less used to offer the community a shuttle service to their homes if they bought groceries. That's why it surprises me that now they could justify closing this store because they don't want to pay their heroes for the services they have performed. They have risked their lives during a very difficult time. We can't forget the word hero applies to them just as much as it applies to the doctors who have been treating our sick. They gave our community sustenance with a lot less PPE.
Part of the community is going to be hurting me because now my family and I, we depend on the store. And also my neighbors are old ladies that it's going to be very hard for them to shop, to do the grocery. They can drive, so it's going to be much harder for them.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.
That was fantastic reporting. And personally, I think you should listen to Jordan, just a side note, at the last bit there.
Who did that little singing thing, by the way? It always makes me laugh.
It's Jordan. Jordan's friend Carmen, singing Carmen. Yes, that was, that is inspiring. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, when CJ was asking, will workers stand up and kind of take back their power? I have to say that gives me hope, seeing that.
Yeah, and these rallies were planned very last minute. This was at 11 o'clock in the morning on a weekday. So to have that kind of a turnout is actually pretty amazing, I think.
Yeah. And you hear the different points of view too, which I find interesting. The DSA person, the people who grew up there and had the experience of going to that store from childhood and what it was then and what it is now. The gentleman who was concerned about his elderly neighbor. It's really a nice mixture of people with different life experiences and what that means, that store means to the community and what's happening to it. I find that really fascinating. I hadn't, that's the first time I've seen that reporting. So that's really well done. So kudos to you, but also in light of what's happening with Amazon, it's particularly interesting. Will we see that revolution? Jordan always talks about a general strike, as many people do these days in our leftist space. Are we headed in that direction? I wonder.
I think so. I don't think we're going to get everything we need to get out of only electoral politics. I think we need to look at a broader assortment of things that we need to utilize. If you look at a lot of the European countries, they don't rely on that just to get what they need. Protests, the yellow vest movement, I think, is a prime example. So Americans should be more motivated to stand up, rise up even against the plutonomy in this country.
Yeah, absolutely. And people like that give me hope. It's one thing for, leftist organizers who that's kind of what they do. And some people have made this their job or their kind of, the hobby. But for regular everyday people who are tired of this, that's a whole nother ball game. So
I agree.
Yeah, that's really encouraging and inspiring for sure. Andy P, $20 in the super chat saying happy Friday. Thanks, Jen and Tina, for the stream today. Love you, Andy, as always. Amazing. So let's do. It's getting late here on the East Coast. Tina on the good old West Coast. Yeah. But give us some.
You know what Hypatia wanders in? We've been on for a while.
Hypatia the pup. Give us some questions that you guys have. Maybe we'll do 10 minutes more. Some super chats. Send those super chats in. Follow my. Oh, look. It's hard for me to figure out how to point. Do statusku.pub/email. Do it. Especially because it's so hard for me to figure out how to point. How do you do it?
There you go. Just stupid. Like that. You're doing it.
I can't do both fingers at once.
But, I have to say, though, Jen, you do look like you're feeling a lot better. So I'm happy to see this.
Yeah, I'm definitely improving. Definitely. And I got my vaccination yesterday. Well, the first one, Pfizer. Which
I'm getting the one-shot one tomorrow.
Oh, good. Yeah. So definitely do that. Statusku.pub/ oh, look, I can do it with one finger. That's better. Statusku.pub/email. Do it. And the reason why is because these platforms are terrible. They're going to kick us off because independent media is under attack. That's no joke. And if we have your email, we can tell you where we are, where to find us, no matter what happens to us. So it's serious. Statusku.pub/email. Sign up. So, ask us questions. We also really, really appreciate any support you can give us. Our YouTube income has dramatically dropped. Our viewership has dramatically dropped. They're also trying to edge us off the platform. So if you can go to GoFundMe.com/statusku, we really appreciate any financial support you can give us. And people have been incredible, just absolutely incredible with that support. Let me see if we have any new supporters here.
There's a demand for a Hypatia Instagram channel, apparently.
Yeah, she should.
She is really cute.
Thank you, Cynthia, for the GoFundMe. $20 in the GoFundMe. Anonymous, thank you. $20 in the GoFundMe. Roxy, $20 in the GoFundMe. Steven, $20 in the.
Hey, Jonathan.
Oh, the wrong thing. You guys are absolutely amazing. I also want to see if there are any new members. If you guys have not joined as a member, do it. Because that's where you get access to the members only Discord. Hypatia says join. That's what you're saying.
That's what Hypatia. And she's also saying hi to Jonathan. We got a super chat from Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan. Good to see you. It's been too long since the garden party. When will the crew meet up at Tina's once again for laughs? So I have, I don't know if you know this, but I was supposed to come a few weeks ago, but I was too sick. So, but now I'm starting to feel better. So I have this Delta flight credit. So I will be coming at some point for sure. But we had such a good time at that party. That was such a nice time. So chill.
That was my 50th birthday party.
Yeah, that was so fun. I loved that.
It was
Although the company will be different this time. Anyway. Yeah, it was so fun. And I can't wait to see you. We had a great time. So, yeah.
Actually, Jonathan, what are you doing Sunday? You should come down and provide security for me at the white supremacist neo-Nazi rally.
Oh, yeah. Do go with her. Do.
Jonathan is with About Face, so people know what we're talking about. He's with an organization called About Face. So it's ex-vets that are leftists. It's pretty amazing. Look up their organization to see what they're about, but they're doing some good work out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really good work for sure. And oh yeah. Yeah, silence is violence is asking how my family is. Yes, I'm not in quarantine. I can see my kids and hug them and everything. So yeah, I'm not contagious at all.
Yeah, you look hella better, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm definitely turning a corner. I do get, exhausted. I can't remember what day it was this week, but one day I did live stream, was like dead after. But so I have ups and downs, but I'm better. And I was telling Jordan, COVID and having to be down all these months has really affected my depression, which I suffer from anyway. But getting back into the swing of things has really lifted my mood too. And, getting to talk to the viewers and just having something to do. Not that I was working. I was working on the Flint stories, 2 of them, working on behind the scenes stuff, but connecting with the viewers and the supporters, that really is so motivating that, I'm so glad to be doing this, and it makes me happy. Let's see. Oh, Firsty Ferret, Elderwood Blue subscribed to the Twitch channel and gifted 5 more random subs to the community. That's great. How does that work? Of gifted subs.
I don't
Percy
know.
Ferret, are you a moderator? How do I make you a moderator? Because you seem moderator-y.
You're like, you know what's going on here.
Firsty, email me at info@statusquo.com and I'll make you a moderator somehow if I figure out how. But thank you, Elderwood Blues. You're amazing. That's so cool. Love that. My eyesight is so not good. Boof says, I thought Tina was only 34. Tina's
I love you, whoever you are. No, I'm 50. That's amazing. Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, Firsty Ferret says, Layjaw 1991. Thanks for subscribing. So I guess I need to be looking at the Twitch chatters again. I don't like that either. That's not cute enough.
No, we'll have to think of something.
Yeah. So we have
just not Twitchers.
No, I guess Twitchers is out.
You decided that just didn't sound right.
Oh, Layja 1991 subscribed at tier 1. Elderwood Blue subscribed with Prime.
Nice.
Oh, I see. So Elderwood is a gifting
twackers. That's
twackers. I don't know. That reminds me of other things.
That's somebody's suggestion. It made me laugh. Just made me laugh.
Gifted. So Elderwood Blues is gifting subs to people. That's so nice. That's amazing. So thank you. How do I feel like I need to figure out how to make Firsty Ferret a person.
I think Twitch is like one of those sites, once you figure out, you're like, oh, I get this now. But at first it's like, what? This is just not intuitive.
Oh my God. I
confusing.
don't know how to do this. Well, it says, I don't know. Firsty Ferret, you're going to have to email me. I'm too stupid. Okay. So, just call me gamers. Oh yeah, nothing makes you feel older than when hip hop artists die. It's really sad about DMX for sure.
Oh,
really
I know,
sad.
Right?
Horrible. Yeah,
Really
addiction is
tragic.
so awful, and it's really sad. Really, really sad. Teresa asks, Twitch is included in the Prime membership. That's a great question. I'm not sure how that works, but it seems so because I've seen a couple people with that going on. Yeah, DMX was 50.
So young.
Yeah, super young. Just, it's impossible to think about like someone just so full of life and then, you type in mod username. That seems difficult. Okay, I'll do that at some point. Unionize working. Okay. Hypatia is saying that it's time
Can
for
you
us
hear her?
to go. But we really appreciate all of your support. Definitely do that. statusquo.pub/email and support us in any way that you can, even if it's just, you know, retweeting our stuff about what YouTube is doing to us. If you go to Jordan's Twitter, you can find the the tweet that we've been talking about in particular. You can also find other really important tweets. So at Jordan Sheridan talking about this YouTube suppression. Jordan's going to be on Jimmy Dore at 9 p.m. Eastern. Jimmy Dore on YouTube. Jimmy Dore, watch Jimmy and Jordan. So Jordan will be talking about what's been going on with YouTube with this massive suppression. So go on Jimmy's channel, show some support, show some love, and yeah, it'll be a great time. They always have a good time together, and yeah, it's good. Okay, so I'll make Firsty a mod. Before I sign off. I don't know how to do it. You type in /mod username. /mod username. Sorry, guys, that you're having to but I have to do it, I guess, before I sign off, right?
You do? Well, no, I don't think so. Do you?
/
I don't know.
Oh,
I
it
shouldn't say.
/mod. Firsty? No. Firsty? No. Barrett. Okay, I did it. I think everybody should congratulate me by leaving something in the GoFundMe. Just kidding. All right, guys. I really appreciate you. Oh, Jonathan signed up for the Twitch and also subscribed. Yay! MT Unit followed us on Twitch. Yes, we are growing. We have 14 viewers on Twitch. I think this is a great time to end with our great growth on Twitch. We love you all. We are so glad that you joined us today. Definitely keep checking us out. We will be going live next week and doing all sorts of stuff, all sorts of fun stuff.
We also have some new Amazon interviews coming out. So
yes, Tina has done an incredible interview. I've only been able to watch part of it so far. But speaking of impactful interviews and dirty shit pulled by Amazon, if you want to preview them on that before we sign off.
Well, okay, yeah, we can. So I've actually done a second one now too that will be coming out of this, but this particular one you're talking about. So this it's unbelievable. This guy has lupus, which is an autoimmune disease. So COVID could be very deadly for this gentleman, right? Because he's in that category of where it could be just very deadly because he has autoimmune disease. So Amazon has now fired him twice because of it, because he had the audacity to ask for protections. And when they didn't give them, he didn't come to work because he didn't feel it was safe. So he's been going back and forth with litigation with Amazon on this, and it shouldn't have even been a thing in the first place, right? So I interviewed him, so he'll tell his story about what he's gone through in the last year, and it's just egregious.
Yeah, it's incredibly sad and horrible. And this is by no means the only story like this. It's unfortunate, right. But these stories are like all over the place. But really, looking at the faces and talking to these people who suffer so much is really impactful and really, really important. And so this interview we will definitely be publishing soon or streaming on a live stream soon. We'll figure it out. But yeah, we'll keep chugging along. We'll keep Tina's going in the field on Sunday, and yeah, here we are. Status quo
tomorrow too. I just don't know if we can even cover it though, because it's more anti-vaxxer Trump.
Well, we can on Rockfin and I don't know.
That's true. We put it elsewhere. It's just getting so frustrating though, because now you have to think to yourself like, well, can I even cover this?
Right.
Like, there's going to be a counter protest. It's going to be in Burbank tomorrow. I think this is valid because 3 months ago there's a bar there, a saloon called Tin Horn Flats that's owned by a big Trump guy, and they've been cited by the public health, the health department multiple times now. He's refused to close down for COVID. You're not allowed in without a mask, like the full thing, right? So about 3 months ago, there was a slashing in front of Tin Horn Flats. Two of the patrons, Randy Berger and this guy named Steve Cisneros, who were also present. He was also present at the downtown LA solidarity protest in front of City Hall where the hate crime happened with Berlinda, and he was there that day for that. So, but on that particular night in front of Tin Horn Flats, they'd been in there drinking. They came out. They slashed somebody with a razor blade. The other one had a taser. The kid was taken to the hospital to urgent care. They were both arrested. So, but then nothing came of the charges. They were released.
Oh my
when I emailed the police department as to why that was, what the details were, they basically just said that they're still investigating. Well, there's video of this. What is there to investigate? You see him with the razor blade in his hand. You see him, slashing at the kid. You don't see the actual crime occur, but it's not that far removed when the guy has injuries and the ambulance shows up and they're taking him away. So I have no doubt that these characters will be there tomorrow too. And there's a small counter protest that is planned as well. And then they also have a second thing that they're doing for the Burbank City Council meetings. So they want to go and disrupt that. So these folks are still carrying on. I've been saying this for a while. I'm going to say it again. The Trump folks, it's a movement and it's not over. Even though Trump is out of office, he's not going to be in office again. They're still part of this sort of collective movement, culty thing, and they just move from one thing to the next, right? I think we still need to keep an eye on this.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree. Yeah, we can't go back to sleep. These people are still out there. They're still doing damage, and it's still spreading.
So I'm going to go film it. I don't know if we can do anything with the video, but I'm still going to go uncover it.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, viewers. Remember Jordan on Jimmy Dore at 9, GoFundMe.com/statusquo. And we love all of you. All right. Bye-bye, guys.